Leistikow Time to unleash Iowa's freshman A dilemma for Jan Jensen after Maryland loss. Iowa City, the contrast was hard to miss on Sunday night for Jan Jensen. On a night at Carver Hawkeye Arena that honored her mentor, her close friend and a women's basketball coaching icon, Jensen acknowledged her newness in the head coaching role for Iowa. Bludder did it for 24 years at Iowa, paving the way for the Megan Gustafson and Caitlin Clark eras, for 2 national championship appearances, for 4 Big Ten tournament championships in the last 6 years until retiring in May. She moved the needle, Jensen said afterward. Changed a lot of people's lives. Changed a lot of people's careers. Jensen, now 15 games into her new role after being Bludder's sidekick for 32 years including all 24 at Iowa, came to grips Sunday with the reality that she doesn't have the answers she wishes she had. And in a 74-66 home loss to 7th-ranked Maryland, Jensen felt she let her team down. Jensen was disappointed in how she got incensed at some early calls by the game officials. She was pleading for fouls on Maryland's Christiana Dals and others, but to no avail. Maryland raced to an almost instant 13-2 lead. And it held Iowa to a single point over a 7-minute, 20-second stretch of the second quarter as the lead mushroomed to 25. I think it's probably my fault, Jensen said. I'm learning and growing. I could have made them a little bit tight. So, I'm going to take that. She also chalked up some schematic mistakes to her personal "my bad" ledger. I was trying to mix up some defenses. Maybe we weren't ready for that, Jensen said. And I think that led up to some transition buckets. Obviously, Jensen is doing the noble thing to take some arrows for one of Iowa's most disappointing home performances against a Big Ten conference team in a long time. This snapped a 21-game win streak against conference foes in front of the home crowd, dating to a loss to Maryland in Clark's sophomore season on February 14, 2022. But this was also against the number 7 ranked team in the country, one with another iconic coach on the other sideline in Brenda Frese. And even with Clark, Iowa experienced some other home clunkers, Creighton, of course in the 2022 NCAA tournament, but North Carolina State and Kansas State in subsequent non-conference campaigns. This isn't a time to panic after falling to 12-3 overall, 2-2 in Big Ten play. That said, Jensen's biggest crossroads to date this season is here: how to handle what's clearly an up-and-coming freshman class versus leaning on her veterans. The vets, as Jensen calls them, mostly struggled on Sunday. Lucy Olson was Iowa's leading scorer with 19 points, but shot 6-for-17 and had only 2 assists and fouled out in 32 minutes. Hannah Stolka had a rare off night, registering only 4 points on 1-for-8 shooting in 20 minutes after foul trouble. Addison O'Grady had a team-worst plus-minus rating at -19. Kylie Farbach had 4 of the 17 turnovers among Iowa's starting 5, which consists of 4 seniors and a junior. Sydney Afalter had a nice line of 12 points and 8 rebounds, but committed 4 turnovers of her own. When Jensen went to the freshmen with Iowa trailing big in the first quarter, they responded. There was one sequence in which the freshmen accounted for a 9-point run, Taylor Strumlow finding Ava Hayden for 2. Tegan Milegny drove for a pretty reverse layup. Aaliyah Guyton made a deft hesitation move and drove to score with her left offhand, and then Guyton whipped a gorgeous kickout to junior reserve Taylor McCabe for 3. Iowa had chopped Maryland's lead from 19-6 to 22-15 to end the first quarter. The entire starting 5 watched as the rookies brought them back. I'd been in their position too, said Afalter, who was a bench player until late last season. You never know when your name is going to be called, and I think they've done a great job of that. We need them coming off the bench. I think they did a great job, and we're going to need them in the future. So keep pouring confidence into them. Frese told Jensen afterward how impressed she was with Iowa's 5-player freshman class, which also includes Callie Levin, who did not play. They're playing above the level of most freshmen in conference play, Frese said. That doesn't bode well for the rest of us for the future. But they're really, really good. You can see the trust level that Jensen has, that depth. I thought that wore us out in the second half. But look at the box score, and Jensen might be wise to rethink or even consult Bludder about what to do going forward with this talented freshman class.